Hi Mamars, again this is Nick and welcome to our channel. So for today's episode, we invited a friend. Her name is Chris. Let's welcome her to discuss about sexual harassment and gender-based violence. So recently, naging usap-usapan yung patungkol sa like people blaming women's dress or yung women's clothing when it comes to harassment. So, yun yung pag-uusapan natin ngayon. And sana mapanood nyo to kasi napaka ganda nung naging usapan namin. Tara, panoorin nyo.
Hi everyone, I'm Cristal Regañon, Chris for short, and I'm currently studying Master's in Counseling Psychology in Ateneo de Manila University, and I'm a women's rights advocate, human rights advocate. I volunteered for different organizations or foundations for mga women and victims of sexual abuse, child sexual abuse, like ECPAT, CRIBS, foundations like that. So, ayun, thank you, Nick, for having me tonight as your guest. Char!
Thank you for joining us.
So, hi! This is the first time. Okay.
Alright, so today, para sa mga manonood ng vlog namin, so we're gonna talk about a very sensitive topic. So, we place a trigger warning ahead of this vlog, so please, trigger warning for this very sensitive issues. We're going to talk about sexual harassment, abusive, and rape statements made by a certain personality. Recently, na nagpakita sa atin na nakita natin na it's 2020 but still it's happening. That's why we need to talk about this. Alright? Yeah, let's start.
Exactly.
So, regarding the statement of, let's name him, he's very proud about what he said, so let's just name him. His name is Ben Stulfo, and he stated about, for me, yung dating kasi nung statement niya sa akin is that he's blaming the families, the victim, pati yung biktima when it comes to sexual harassment, and especially blaming it to someone's like pananamit. Do you agree with what he said, Chris?
Yeah. So, personally, I don't agree vehemently sa sinabi niya. First of all, yung pananamit ng victim is not the cause of why rape happens. I don't want to sound like parang paulit-ulit na lang. Pero kasi, unfortunately, kailangan pa rin. Kailangan pa rin siyang ulit-ulitin for people like Tulfo. But, yeah, as what obviously people have seen online, a lot of people have already talked about it, have already expressed their opinions. And I agree with them that the only thing that causes rape is rapists. Ganun lang yun. Like, it's as basic as that. How about you?
Yeah, I really disagree with him. Knowing that, alam mo yun, it's just sad that in this generation, nangyayari pa rin yun. I mean, feminists, like, fought for it, like, for a very, very long time. And I've never expected that it's 2020 and it's happening. Lalo na sa statement niya na it's not just about the blaming it's just like even teaching the generation about not to rape. Parang mas pinapaboran niya action instead of teaching this generation of whatever the gender is, na huwag man rape, na yun yung masama. At na hindi yung babae or kung ano man yung gender ng isang tao, na sila yung bibli because of what happened to them. So, what's your reaction with him? Like, telling people din na about, especially dun sa sinabi niya kay Frankie na calling her Iha and like stating that, sabihan niya ba like sexy ladies and stuff, diba? So, what do you think about that? Like, that.
Yeah. Actually, well, first of all, sobrang props kay Frankie Pangilinan. Like, I love her so much. If ever man nanonood siya ngayon, sobrang proud of her. Like, we need more women, we need more youth like Frankie Pangilinan who's not afraid to speak their opinion, who is not afraid to, be blasted online by a famous online personality like Tulfo. Kasi alam naman natin lahat na meron talagang clout si Tulfo. Yung mga Tulfo brothers, meron silang influence talaga online. So, ayun, yung sinabi mo, yung message niya, yung response niya kay Frankie, sobrang nakakatawa kasi ang sarap niyang i-dissect. Parang, it's like, ang dami niyang sexist implications na sinabi dun sa short message lang na yun. Like, yung sinabi mo yung iha. And I'm actually so glad na Frankie brought it up. Frankie actually, tama ba yung nakita ko online na parang pinalitan niya yung handle name niya? Ginawa niya iha. Tama ba? Or, yeah, right? So, ayun, I love how she owned it. And she's saying na parang, you can call me whatever you want, whatever sexist, condescending name you want. Pero, that doesn't change the fact that what I'm saying is true. So, I love that. Yeah. So, nakakatawa siya. Yeah. So, ayun, yung pagtawag niya ng iha, it's, parang textbook, textbook method of shrugging the opinion of the person because unang-una, babae siya and pangalawa kasi bata siya. Diba? So, parang parang lalo niya pang pinapropagate yung idea na if you're younger and if you're a woman, your beliefs or ideas do not matter. And actually, okay na, like, once again, kung gaano ka, ayun.
Yeah, tapos, I think the good thing din about dun, diba? Like, the iha thing na supposed to be, I think that's, ang meant siguro no ni Mr. Tulfo is to degrade Frankie. But instead, what happened is, called him out. And then, like, sinabi nila yung stories down to about their experiences and telling them na what they felt shouldn't be invalidated and they shouldn't be discriminated or even blamed about what happened to them. Because a lot of them were just kids, diba? And these kids are like, not because they're just definitely just kids. And ang daming, meron pang did you see the news about like a man raping a cow? Did you see that?
Ano yun? Which
yung
one?
Cow na ni-rape ng isang
news about?
lalaki.
Yeah. I saw that one.
Kasi diba, imagine, i-blame mo ba yung baka?
Exactly. Like, hindi ka, nakahubad kasi yung cow. Ano ba? So stupid. Nakakatawa.
Yeah.
And sobrang seductive ng cow.
And like, ang dami pang like different animals that's been raped. And then, like, wala silang clothes. But what's good about, ito kasi, meron pa din ako nabasa.
Yeah.
That is, kanina lang. I think it's the Bodok, I guess. Alam mo yung tribe na, sa tribe nila, walang rapist. But, yung katawan nila, it's shown. Pero it's like, there's body, there's the people, there's the community, diba? I mean, if people can do that, why can't, diba? Is it the women's clothing or is it that's the problem, right?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, may buti nga nabanggit mo yung cow and yung like hindi naman siya nakasuot ng seductive clothing kasi I'm going to say something, I don't know if it's controversial, pero it's definitely something that not a lot of people know.
Yeah.
Pero I was part of a nationwide research study kasi on violence against children. This was back in 2016. Tapos this was done by UNICEF and CWC, or Council for the Welfare of Children. So, after yung research na yun, pinublish yung results ng study. And it actually showed na mas maraming male children victims of sexual violence. So, this actually debunks the myth na mas maraming babaeng victims, at least from age 13 to 18 years old. So, if we look at itong statistics na to, how are people like going to, rationalize, like, anong suot ng mga lalaki na yun?
Yeah.
Bakit mas maraming male victims? Kung yung cause pala ng sexual violence is the victim's clothing, right? Kasi sa society natin ngayon, hindi naman nakikita yung mga suot ng mga lalaki as something provocative. Pero bakit mas marami pa rin victims of, male victims of sexual violence? So that's, I think that's one important thing na as a society we need to acknowledge na marami talagang male victims of sexual violence. It's just that it's underreported kasi nga yung toxic masculinity, parang pag lalaki ka, dapat strong ka, hindi ka pwedeng maging victim, lalo na ng rape or ng sexual harassment.
Yeah.
So, I think, parang if we are able to acknowledge this truth, mas ma-change natin yung mindset na mga babae, tapos na babaeng malalaswa yung suot, na it's their fault kung bakit rape happens. So I think that's one aspect na we need to acknowledge na mas marami talagang lalaking victims. Para matanggal yung mindset na yung malalaswang suot yung cause ng rape. You know what I mean?
Yes. Kasi I really agree with you. Kasi I remember this like stories of like different friends na ibang advocacy and like hearing their stories about this kind of experiences na unreported. Like, it's sad because they're always afraid to come out because people would always like say na baka the person is gay. Baka, alam mo yun, tapos baka sila pa yung
Yeah.
It's sad because that's really, binigay mo na yung victim and invalidate mo pa yung nangyari na it's never their fault, no? And actually, give them any reason para gawin sa kanila. So, it's a very important kailangan talaga.
Oo, isa pa yun.
Yeah. And, di ba yung pati yung mga lola, I mean, I've heard news na may mga lola na rape, di ba? Or lolas like really, di ba yung ano nila, yung term ng sexy ng tao, it's always the physical body. Pero yung lola, babies, I mean, are they sexy? Kasi ang point lang dito is that the people that you see sexy is that baka ang ginawa mo sa kanila, hindi naman yung pagkatao nila yung mo, but you like saw them as a sexual object and not a person. Kasi kung nakikita mo siya sa tao, you take mo to do that kind of act, diba? I was saying, yung, like, halimbawa ngayon, some people are actually, trying to integrate Christianity and other religions into this kind of things na kailangan, kasi daw sinabi sa Bible na kailangan maayos yung damit. Really crazy, like, for you to tell people, especially the women, what to wear. Diba? I mean, we have our own rights. Yeah. May decision tayo. Katawan natin to, diba? So, bakit meron na ito na, the short of meron. And I remember when I was doing advocacy work with them. Isa sa mga panggit doon na bakit lagi yung victim yung kaadya?
Yeah, oo nga eh.
So, lahat ng bawal for the victim. Bakit lagi yung prevention? Pwede naman siya i-prevent kung yung tao or yung perpetrator wouldn't do any actions regarding what, yung sexual urges na naramdaman niya ngayon, di ba?
Yeah.
What do you think ano yung tingin mo yung mga pwedeng magawa natin, like, to educate these people that kailangan yung involvement nila, kailangan na, bakit kailangan sila turuan, and you won't be less of a thought about respect and choice. What do you think?
I feel like tama yung point mo na parang masyado tayo nakafocus sa changing the behavior of women or victims in general. Yung may nabasa rin ako online na parang wait, sorry, kasi baka mamaya na-mention mo na pala to, it was just that naghang ka. Pero if na-mention mo na siya, edi okay lang. But yeah, I'm gonna bring it up anyway. So, nabasa rin online na parang yung the way we talk to women or victims na huwag kang ganito manamit, huwag kang lumabas sa gabi, huwag kang pumunta sa ganyan, huwag kang pumarty, ganyan. We're basically telling women na parang we're basically telling sexual offenders na parang don't rape this woman, you can rape a different kind of woman, parang ganun.
Yeah.
So that in itself is already wrong. Plus, it's not yun nga, parang hindi niya sinasolve yung root cause ng problem. So, to answer your question na parang what can we do to address this problem, for me, shift our focus from changing the behavior of victims to changing the mindset of possible perpetrators.
Yeah.
So, as I said kanina, I'm taking Masters in Counseling Psychology. So, hindi pa ako professional at all. Wala. Like, disclaimer lang, hindi naman ako psychologist or psychiatrist. But it is something that I'm passionate about and I have studied and read about it. So, meron isang research study done by Jaydip Sarkar. He's an Indian psychologist. And in this research, he studied yung mental health ng mga rape offenders. And according to him, tama yung na-mention mo na yung isang aspect nito. One of the biggest factors kung bakit people commit sexual violence is yung cognitive distortions nila. Meaning yung mga ideas nila about the world na mali, na not based on reality talaga. So merong 3 main cognitive distortions na mahanap sa mga rape offenders. And unang-una is what you mentioned before, women are sex objects. So, dahil tingin nila na women are just exist just to, be like pleasure them. For them, okay na siya. Like, okay lang na gawin nila to sa kanila. Tapos, another is yung entitlement. Mayroong sense of entitlement na parang I own you. So, hindi lang sexual object ang babae, kundi there's sexual objects that I own, that we own as men. So, yun. We need to change these mindsets sa mga lalaki. I think we're getting there. We're progressing. Mas marami na rin, like si Senator Risa Ontiveros, there are more female politicians who are actually working towards a better society, a society with men na walang ganitong cognitive distortions. Pero we need to find parang momentum. Kasi ang hirap baguhin yung mindset ng mga tao, lalo na kung nakasanayan na siya. So it's not something na we can change overnight. It's something that we need to keep on doing. We need to keep on reminding men na women are not sex objects, you're not entitled sa katawan ng mga babae. And pangatlo, ito pala yung cognitive distortion is that parang iniinsulto rin nila yung sarili nila na parang pag may nakasuot na sexy or provocative, hindi nila makontrol. It's like, what are they saying about themselves? Diba? Parang, para sa kanila rin to eh. Hindi lang nila mag-gets. Like, hindi lang talaga nila mag-gets.
Yeah. Actually, yun, isa sa mga...
So, yeah, ayun. Changing the mindset.
And, eto pa, I wanna share this with you too. Kasi, So, I just want to share this with you too. Kasi, I remember when we were like talking about the pyramid of this kind of like, paano ba nag-end yung violence sa rape? It starts with catcalling. So, as simple like, miss yung sexy naman, miss pingin ng number mo. These are the things that people think na parang for them, it's just normal. So, sabihin nga nila, buti nga kinompliment kita, di ka naman may parang, ikaw na nga kinato, ikaw po yung sinabihan na hindi maganda. And these are the kind of things that people take for granted, especially the men, na parang, hindi, okay lang naman yan, wala na kaming ginawang masama eh. Nagsalita lang kami, but hindi nila alam that could lead to stalking, could lead to, hanggang sa dumating na siya sa ganitong rape thing. Kasi ang sabi nga nila, hindi naman lahat ng rapist, na-rape niya agad eh. Ang rapist may plano eh. Kaya nga wala namang, pinagpaplanuhan nila yung mga bagay-bagay bago nila magawa yun. So, saying yung sa isang experience nung nakasama namin before na, and shinare niya na, nung una na siya sa catcalling, until mistalk na siya. And it's really sad kasi akala nung iba, walang effect yun, tapos di mo makita. Para sa akin, subconscious mind niya, wala lang yun. Hanggang nag-stalk na siya. Hanggang sa pwede na buti ka na-report niya agad eh. Ng stalking pa lang. Kasi, nagiging, nag-broke din kasi siya eh. So, ang hirap ng kasi imagine mo, unang-una pa lang, hiningan lang siya ng number, tapos bigla stalk na siya, nag-broke pa siya. Diba? Imagine na, dito lang nagsimula yun sa simpleng catcalling lang, pero it ended at that way. Kaya importante na we try to call out people. We always educate them na when we teach, we are not imposing. Kasi ito yung mali sa yung maling mindset ng ibang tao that when you teach them, you're imposing them something that they don't want. Pero if your belief hurt somebody, edi that's teaching. Kasi nga mali yung ginagawa mo before, diba? So dapat i-renew talaga siya ngayon. Kasi lalo na sa mga babae talaga. Kasi ang hirap nung ikaw talaga yung mag-catcall ka. Yung perpetrator o yung victim, laging yung victim yung iiwas doon sa isang sitwasyon na yun. So people has to understand the importance of this, na blaming will only stop people from reporting. Diba? So what sa ganitong mga sitwasyon, what do you think na mga pwede nating, kasi dati I remember when we first started talking about like involving people to get into this kind of like discussion para mas maintindihan nila. Sa tingin mo, ano yung mga aside sa mga pwede nating magawa? So mayroon tatlo, yung na kailangan nating turuan doon. We have to involve yung perpetrator tsaka bystander. Kasi importante din kasi when it comes to reporting, kailangan may involvement nila. Kasi some people would say na, ay kapatid na mabala, ganyan. Pero importante kasi you might be saving a life. Diba? And also the victims to encourage them talaga to actually report. Pero syempre, we can't see them if mahirapan sila mag-report kasi ang dami talagang nag-i-invalidate nung stories nila.
Yeah.
So with this, like, for you, in your opinion, how can we, like, encourage the bystanders more to do something when they, like, small actions as this, na, yun nga, hindi na pwede pala maging, mag-lead to rape?
Yeah. Sorry, ask ko lang, kamusta yung friend mo, yung naka-experience nung...
Yeah. Kasi yung nangyari sa kanya is that, una, so dumaan lang siya. So pagdaan niya, kinat-call siya, hingi ng number, tapos everyday, iba-iba. Hingi ng number, kalawa sila siya ng maganda, isa nakatira. So, abang tumatagal yung pagdaan, mas lumalala yung pag-catcall sa kanya. And some na, miss, gusto mo ba ihatid kita, ganyan. So, sobrang very uncomfortable yun. Hanggang dumating sa stalking na siya. So, dahil nga hindi siya na magpa-sundo or magpahatid, ang ginawa niya, nag-take na ibang puta, going, tsaka pauwi ng school. Pero nandun na, tapos nagulat na lang siya one day, na yun pala yung nagda-drive ng tricycle. So, syempre, gulat siya kasi, na-ready niya na yung sarili niya, anytime mag-jump siya. Pero buti na lang, though hindi niya mabuti, kasi ano na lang siya, kinakain sa loob ng tricycle. Pero, walang ginawa sa kanya. So, na-report niya na talaga yun sa police kasi umabot na nga sa ganong situation. Sabi nga namin, kung siguro hindi naagapan niya, most probably, di ba, kung nangyari sa kanya, what happened. And nakakita siya from niya pa. Tapos yung blouse, hindi niya yung ano niya yung damit niya. So, it's sad. Ganon yung nangyari sa kanya. And yung bystanders din walang pakialam. Tinatawanan pa. So, ganong mga sitwasyon yung nangyari. And it's sad because it happened. Pero, like, for example, if you were the bystander, what would you do?
Actually, okay na mention mo nga yung bystander and what bystanders can do. For me, kapag ganun, I'm trying to think back of mga times na actually happened to me. Okay, so ako kasi very person. Not all the time, pero kapag alam ko na somebody's crossing the line, I would not hesitate to confront that person. So I understand na not a lot of people naman may ganun type of personality, and that's okay. I feel like we just need to be ready. So it helps if you have a script na rin in mind eh. Ka, diba? Kasi hindi ka makapaniwala na, oh my God, this is really happening. Am I really witnessing somebody getting harassed or ayun nga, catcalled, yung mga ganun. So it actually helped me. You need to run as if you're parang paano ba? Like, hindi siya sobrang sama. Paano ba? Like, parang you're not attacking. You're not attacking the perpetrator. Yeah. You're just asking them what they want. Ganun lang ka-basic. Like, kasi I find na if you're too aggressive about it, parang hindi na sila nakikinig, or for them, it's, ikaw pa yung mali. Ikaw pa yung nagiging perpetrator. Kasi ikaw yung aggressive eh. So, ayun, let's give concrete examples. Let's say na you're in a bar, in a club. Tapos, you notice a girl being harassed by a guy. So, you can just approach them and ask, sorry, is this guy, is he disturbing you or bothering you? Sorry, what do you want? Yun lang. Parang what do you want? It's something so basic. Tapos, you just need to, we need to treat them as people who do not know any better. Not as monsters.
Yes.
As monsters, parang we need to have hope na they can change. You know? Kasi if hindi talaga mabago yung situation. So, yun lang, parang be matter-of-factly about it. Parang don't be too aggressive. Unless physical na yung nangyayari, diba? And just, ayun, as long as you're not the one being aggressive, parang mas open sila to listening. And calling. So, I want to share parang 2 experiences ko of catcalling. Yung unang experience ko, that causes sexual violence or sexual harassment. Kasi na skirt. Tapos, I was commuting. I always commute. So, nagka-commute ako, ganun yung suot ko. So, especially people like Tulfo would say na that's provocative. So, I was wearing that provocative outfit, commuting. Tapos, I wasn't catcalled. Like, nag-commute ako from Quezon City all the way to Makati and back to Quezon City. Tapos, buong araw walang nag-catcall sa akin. And parang a few weeks after that, I was in Payatas for work. Yeah. Tapos, I was wearing a jersey, football jersey siya na loose. Like, hindi kita yung... Tapos, I was wearing... Tapos, na-catcall ako twice. So, parang... Alam mo yun, parang if totoo yung sinasabi nila na it's what you wear that causes sexual violence or harassment, then how would you explain that na when I was... Pero nung nakasuot ako ng loose na jersey tapos pants, na-catcall ako twice. Diba? So parang, that in itself, that experience already debunks the myth na it's the clothing. So yun, that's one experience of. And then yung second one, answers your most recent question, which is yung, what should you do kung ikaw mismo, hindi lang yung bystander, paano kung ikaw mismo. So, what I usually pero every time I do what I do, tapos nakita ko yung reaction nung parang I feel empowered. Alam mo yun? And for a moment, for a millisecond, parang I made them realize that they were doing something to do. We need to make them realize that they were doing something wrong. So what I do is, when I'm walking, tapos somebody, like for example, uy, babe, or ganda, ganon. I stop, tapos I ask them, bakit? Yun lang. Like, it's so basic. Sobrang basic lang niya. Bakit? Yeah? Ganon. Or, magkakilala ba tayo? Ganon. Parang, may different responses na ako in my head. Kasi, yun nga, yung script, it helps. The script helps. Kasi when you're in that moment, parang shook ka, tapos minsan mabablanko yung utak mo. So, it helps na if you have a script. So, yun, whenever I ask that, whenever I confront them, bakit? Yes, ano yan? Ano sila, like, sila naman yung nasa-show. Nag-arrange yung responses nila. Tapos may mga iba na natatakot, parang nahihiya sila sa sarili nila. Tapos meron namang mga iba na may kasama sila eh. Kasi di ba minsan, mahilig sila sa gano'n na parang machismo, papakita nila sa mga guy friends nila na so when that happens, stop and that the friends would laugh at them, parang would make fun of them na parang wala ka pala, ganun. So yan, parang yung mga ganong instances, it just goes to show na when men catcall, it's not, the goal isn't really to parang engage in a conversation wherein you guys would flirt or ganon. The goal is to just parang to take away your power, to objectify you. Yes. Kasi, di ba kung ang goal naman talaga sila is to, di ba, bakit sila magugulat na, ay, kinausap ako nito. Bakit, di ba, bakit parang bad thing sa kanila? Bakit sila matatakot kapag kinausap mo sila? So, yun, parang, you need to feel that they feel they're not in control when they're in that situation. Kasi it's something traumatic naman talaga. Lalo na pag paulit-ulit nangyayari. Pero we need to remind ourselves na we still have power over this. So yung sinasabi ko na parang, I don't want to be misconstrued, no? Na parang, babaguhin na naman yung behavior ng babae. Parang, okay, so yung babae na naman yung kailangan mag-step up, ganyan. Parang, this is different from telling women to change their outfits, to change the way they wear. Kasi yung difference niya, yung isa, there's nothing wrong with what we wear. It's not immoral. Parang walang inherently wrong sa pagsusuot natin. It's just their wrong thinking, their wrong mindset. And this one, parang we're just giving women the proper tools on how to not feel like they're powerless, you know? Tapos, at the same time, another accomplishment niya is parang second guess natin sila na, bakit ko ba ito ginagawa? Alam mo yun, parang napapamukha natin sa kanila na what they're doing is not normal. So, kahit isang segundo lang yun, kahit isang moment lang yun, it might not change the way they think. Pero kung enough women do it to them, or every time they catcall, tapos that's the response that they get, they're going to eventually realize na, maybe I should stop. Yun, ayun lang. Sorry, ang haba nung sinabi ko. Pero kasi,
very,
I know that every woman has experienced being catcalled, and parang
yes.
for people situation natin eh, na parang everyday we have to experience that, and it's exhausting. It's really exhausting. Yun.
Yeah. That's why kanina nga na-mention mo nga, di ba, yung regarding kay Sanrisa. The good thing is, with this like perpetrators, catcalling, stuff, ang masaya lang dito is that we have wins. For the past years, we're able to win and pass this kind of laws that protect us in a public space. Kasi dati, walang batas that protects us from catcalling. Pag kinatcall ka, diba? So, it's sa mga bystanders who can tell them na, uy, huwag kang ganyan kasi mayroong batas tayo na pwede kang makasuhan, pwede kang makulong.
Yeah.
Diba? And it's we really thank Senrisa Ontiveros for really doing this for women. I remember, like, sabi nga nila, when people ask me, why do I like Senrisa? It's because, like, she really asked the people, she really asked the advocates, she really asked women kung ano yung mga pwedeng idagdag sa batas, ano yung mga pwedeng makontribute natin. Because that's what she does eh. Kasi she knows na, yun na yung dapat i-appreciate natin sa mga legislators natin ngayon who actually reaches out before they pass any law.
Yeah.
Nagko-consult sila. Yeah. I remember when we had this sharing about what can we do sa perpetrators, sa victims, reporting, ganyan. So, napaka-importante yun. That's why this increases like women empowerment because it protects us from this kind of violence. Yeah. It protects us from this kind of, naalala ko to yung sinabi ni Bento po that, you know, he was saying na beast. I mean, people are not animals. We actually have the right to choose. Beast, diba? Unless you can't control it, diba? Parang yun point natin dun eh. You're person. You can say person's just a beast. They're not just a monster. Hindi naman sila naging hindi nila decision na gawin yun, diba? So, importante yung ganun. To tell people that there are people still like this who still do this to meron tayong bawal basta so if mangyari sa bus, hindi, naalala ko ng Quezon City yung unang nagpasa ng bawal bastos sa Quezon City. Ang ganda kasi na first kung NQC, may mga report. So, hindi na sayang yung batas kasi may mga nagre-report na talaga ng mga nangyayari. And ang masaya nun, ang isa sa mga pinakamagandang win, kahit yung person authority, inareklamo, may long, mag-a-attend ng seminar. Huwag mo lang ikulong. Bigyan mo ng, ano ba yung kailangan nila ginawa sa gender violence at sa ginawa nila to make them realize na yung ginawa nila is kasi kulong is not enough eh. You have to educate them even if they've been punished already by being nasa kulungan, diba? So, yun yung pinakamagandang win na nangyari. Diba? So, ang ganda ng progress natin.
Yeah.
Anything more to add?
Totoo, yung mga people like Tufo, hindi lang men kasi may mga babae rin na ganun din yung pag-iisip nila eh, di ba? Like, may mga babae na nag-agree kay Tufo.
Yeah, tapos yung blame pala, especially yung mga, yung mga na-rape na galing sa inuman. And then like, why would you blame the person? Siya, diba? I mean, women try to drink. I mean, di ba pwede tayo uminom? Can't we drink na safely, na walang tayo gagalawin just because we're women, diba? So, yun lang yung isa sa mga issues na kailangan natin bigyan ng pansin. Kasi nakakasad, no? Na women are supposed to be our allies, pero some women doesn't believe the same advocacies that we believe in, diba? Parang, ewan ko, anong perspective mo sa mga women? Bakit sila ganito yung naging perspective nila towards victim na kung tutusin babae din sila?
Oo. Isa rin siyang symptom ng patriarchal society na parang pitting women against each other. So yung mga babae na naniniwala na nag-agree kay Tulfo, sila yung mga babae na unfortunately inisip nila na there are two kinds of women who get raped because they behave like this, and women who don't get raped because they behave properly or morally. And I'm that type of woman. I'm the second type of woman. So I'm better than the other type of woman. So may ganong mindset na other, and may mindset din na parang there is the proper way to be a woman, which is
Maria Clara.
Correct. It's not right. It's just another way for the patriarchal society to control women, to alam mo yun, parang to police ko yung the way we behave, the way we live our lives, ganon.
Yeah. That's really
ganitong type of society. Yeah. Pero yun nga, parang may progress din naman tayo, which is why it's important to acknowledge. I think it really is important to acknowledge kung gaano nakalaki yung improvement natin as a society. Like, we do have legislators like Senator Riveros. Para naman tayo, hindi po namin, hindi po kami, kasi kanina pa natin siya inaano. Pero, totoo nga naman kasi, like, we need more legislators like that. So, vote wisely always.
Yeah.
Masegue lang yung election.
Diba? We have to...
Masegue lang.
Yeah, tsaka si Sheri Johnson, she's really true to what she, what she's trying to, like, mga laws na nililegislate niya, na pinapasa niya. She makes sure na makikinabang talaga yung mga babae and any, yung kahit yung gender mo, lahat tayo. Kasi even dun sa bawal bastos law, maganda kasi dun, I remember when people were arguing, bakit yan yung bawal bastos law, kawawang mga lalaki dyan, diba? Yun yung misconception about it. But kapag binasa mo yung batas, it says na any person. So it doesn't, like, kung ano man yung, yung gender mo, soji mo, babae ka man lalaki or whatever, meron kang experience ka ganito, lahat tayo pwede mag-report. Lahat tayo pwede magsabi na ito yung na-experience mo at walang mag-invalidate sa'yo dapat ng experiences mo. And kumaga, ma-process ka din ng mas maayos without blaming you and then by, supporting kung ano man yung ni-report mo sa mga authorities. So, yun yung mga i-add ka pa ba aside doon sa like women issues? Wait, can we discuss din yung sa like different genders na na-experience yun? Like, especially for people na like for trans women because they're women pero like it invalidates that they don't like nasa ba hindi naman trans women siya. So yun, I think it's another issue na important ng mga there's women and whatever they choose to dress, it's fine. It's not because they're just because of how right? So yun pala, yung about sa trans, parang I think we also need to talk about issues of trans women because most of the time, they are being invalidated, especially if they are being called boy. And then, of course, na-insulted ako. Pero kasi importante makita is it important na huwag na yung mga report, especially na it's not, kasi ang misconception kasi gay sila. Hindi ko nga sila gay. They are
Yeah.
What's your like point of view when it comes to that?
Actually, okay na binring up mo rin yung LGBT community kasi dun sa sinabi kong research before, yung sa UNICEF, yung ginawang research ng UNICEF, according to the results, mas malaki yung percentage. So, mas maraming members of the LGBT community na nakaka-experience ng sexual violence compared sa mga heterosexual male and heterosexual female. So, hindi ko alam yung specific, kasi numbers or percentage. Pero, check ko siya. But, yung specifically for transsexual at bisexual individuals, sila yung highest percentage actually of those who experience sexual violence. And hindi lang siya sa Philippines, both sa America and Philippines din siya. I don't know with other countries, pero merong ganitong trend. So, the first thing that we can do actually to address this is to increase yung mga research being done. Kasi one of the mistakes na parang common mistakes that mga organizations, mga research institutions have been doing is that kinaklump nila yung, like hindi nila ina-consider yung mga LGBT members. Like, for them, basta male and female. So, it's another form of cis-sexism and heterosexism. So, that's one, parang isa yun sa pinaka-importanting thing na we need to do. Kasi without research, like, how are we going to figure out kung ano yung root cause ng problem? Bakit? Hindi natin alam. Actually, hanggang ngayon, hindi natin alam kung bakit mas mataas yung percentage ng mga LGBT community survivors or victims kaysa sa mga non-LGBT. We just know the numbers, but we don't know why. So, without knowing why, we can't address the problem. So, we need more research on that. Another is yung na-mention mo na reporting. So, one of the theories kung bakit sobrang underreported siya. Well, actually, na-mention mo yun siya, which is yung natatakot sila na i-invalidate yung experience nila na parang, unang-una, i-invalidate yung experience nila na sabihin sa kanila na, oh, di ba nga compliment yan for you, which is actually something na parang na-experience ng mga babae, di ba, minsan. Na compliment yung catcalling, compliment nga na na-rape ka, ganyan-ganyan. So, it's something that is also experienced by the LGBT community. Pangalawa is, yun, tama yung sinabi mo kanina na parang mali rin yung parang pag-identify sa kanila. Yung kinaklump yung mga transgender or transsexual individuals with yung mga gays. One reason kung bakit to nangyayari is we don't have the language for it. Or we might, pero I think may nakita ako na parang meron talagang Tagalog for mga transgender or transsexual. It's just that hindi siya normalized at saka hindi siya mainstream. Hindi pa siya alam ng public. So, it's something that we need to change yung language din. Tapos, yung gender sensitivity training. Actually, nag-start na yung DSWD. I think it's under DSWD. They've done mga gender sensitivity trainings within different LGUs. I'm not sure actually kung it's still ongoing now, but it is something that is really, it's a good solution. It's a good initiative by the government, by that branch of the government. So, ayun, parang we need to train yung mga people, mga authorities, how to be more sensitive, how to be more open to different genders and different sexualities. Kasi nakakatakot nga naman talaga for someone na, member ng LGBT community. Kasi they have more barriers to healing and recovery. Kasi they need to overcome two barriers specifically. Yung una is yung barrier nung na-experience nilang sexual violence, and pangalawa is yung barrier nila na being a member of the LGBT community. So, ayun, parang it's more difficult for them talaga. But as of now, since mukhang medyo matagal pa bago magkaroon ng change sa part ng government and ng mga research institutions, I guess what they can do is to find support system. Kasi yun yung main parang determinant kung mag-develop sila ng PTSD from their experience. Yeah. So, common naman yan, diba? It's a common thing for victims of sexual violence to develop PTSD after the experience. But it doesn't happen to all victims. Tapos yung main factor is the support system. It actually decreases it by 36%. So, kapag meron kang solid na support, it will prevent you from developing PTSD. Ngayon, hirap siya kasi especially with the Philippines na we are not as open sa mga ganitong ideas compared to other mas progressive countries. But what they can do is they can look for a peer or yung mga groups online na like, ano yung sa Babaylan, I think, right? Tama ba?
Yeah.
Yeah, oo, yung mga ganong groups, yung where they can find a community na mag-accept sa kanila. And another option kung hindi peer or online community is they can also look for a therapist who parang someone who they trust. Pero another difficulty naman sa therapist is that hindi rin lahat ng therapists open to realities ng LGBT community. So, mahirap yon. I admit na it's a challenge for mga LGBT victims. But it's also important to parang remind them na they can set their own boundaries. So, if ever, for example, merong member na LGBT community who have experienced sexual violence and they're considering right now going to therapy, what I can, like the advice that I can give them is for your ideal for you to disclose your gender identity and your sexuality to your therapist. Ideal siya kasi it's gonna help in your recovery, but hindi siya necessary. Parang it's okay if you're not yet ready. Meaning, if hindi ka pa ready na i-disclose yung identity mo, yung gender identity mo and sexuality mo, you can still seek therapy. Mas mahirap siya, pero okay lang. Kasi if you force yourself to come out, that's actually gonna make it worse for you. Parang mas mahirapan ka sa recovery mo. So, you can still seek therapy without telling your therapist about your gender identity. Parang warning lang na may mga therapists who think that failure to disclose is deception, which is not true. Hindi siya totoo. Kasi you can set your own boundaries with your therapist. You don't have to disclose everything. So don't allow a therapist to guilt trip you. Parang ganun. So yun, yung basically my advice can be boiled down to seek a support system. It can be a peer, it can be a community, and it can be a therapist. Just have to make sure na it's people or it's a person that you can trust.
Yeah, that's right. Isa right now, yun nga, it's harder, if it's harder talaga sa mga LGBT people to report things like this because first is like even within their families, wala silang support system kasi it will always boils down to their sexuality. Kaya nga talaga yung clothing thing, you can just, hindi naman dun yung iba nga sinisisi sa sexuality, bakit sila naka-experience ng ganitong mga sexual harassment. I remember someone who actually disclosed this to me, and I remember her telling me na, it makes her sad na, like, for a person to make a point, kailangan mo siyang i-harass. It's an experience na yun. Kasi niisip nung guy na yun, na parang, he can change the girl just because he had sex with him. Tapos wala pang consent. That's really rape. So, something na, of sexuality na pinag-uusapan din naman because alisin na natin yung that a person can actually change their dick because that can happen. Diba? It doesn't work that way. Our psychology is, it's a continuous journey. It's your own decision to whatever. Pero din nga yung the first time that, yung first time nag-come out ako, I thought I was a lesbian. Since I was labeled by the people kasi. So after that, I pansexual. So imagine na, what if I remember someone did it, nagkaroon siya ng proposal telling me na, if it was this thing, he can, I was like, no. Like, just cut it off. I don't want to meet you ever again because, like, not how things is. Like, diba? It's always about the attraction and not, just having a sexual intercourse. Diba? And kailangan din talaga ipaliwanag sa mga tao how important consent is. Even kahit yung simple kiss, like, people find it romantic when a person kisses you. It's for ka ba na gusto mo? So what if, like, you think you like it, but still, so these are the things that people has to know. Kung hanggang saan natatang harassment sa'yo. And sa harassment, lang naman kung kailangan malaman, are you uncomfortable? If you're uncomfortable, then harassment is actually going on. That, diba?
That's actually one thing na kailangan din mabago sa atin, sa mentality natin, na parang masyado tayong nahihiya na mag-no, mag-set ng boundaries. So, kailangan nating i-retrain constantly yung mga sarili natin na it's okay to say no, it's okay to set our own boundaries. If it makes you uncomfortable, you can say so. It doesn't make you a bitch or it doesn't make you, parang impolite. Kaya, one of the things that I really like about yung previous work ko, my friend, si Angel, pati ka ba?
Yeah.
Our mutual friend, Char. Si Angel. Ang cute kasi, doon sa previous work namin sa NGO, sa Payatas, they had a class wherein they taught yung mga kinder students, very, very young, yung mga young kids. They taught them about consent and, how to say no, how to make sure na nare-respeto yung katawan nila. So, it's always good to start them young. Kasi consent is very basic, pero kahit yung mga adults, hirap na hirap pa rin silang i-grasp yung concept. Kasi I guess hindi siya naturo nung bata tayo. And kahit mga adults, the way we treat kids as well, it's very problematic when it comes to the idea of consent. So, one seemingly trivial and innocent thing that adults usually do is when they ask for hugs or kisses from mga kids. So, for them, pakiss naman, pahug naman, or they would just do it without asking. So, that might seem very innocent or very trivial, pero actually, it builds this idea sa mga bata na, okay, my opinion doesn't matter. Parang me being uncomfortable doesn't really matter. I have to do this kasi adult siya, may power siya over me, so I'll just do it. Tapos even their own parents would be like, oh, sininang yan, kiss mo siya. Sininong yan, kiss mo siya, kahit di naman comfortable yung bata. So, it's something that we need. It's, kinaugalian siya na kailangan baguhin. I don't know where to start, honestly. But I guess we start with, I don't know where to start, pero biglang sabihin ko yung suggestion ko. But no, I mean, like, ang hirap kasing baguhin nun if it's kinaugalian na. But I guess we start with our own families, like the way we live our lives. If we see someone who's doing that to a kid, like we can, yung sinabi mo kanina, yung bystander, like bystanders have the power and even the responsibility to speak up when they see something wrong.
Yes. Kasi very important. Lalo na, yun nga, yung total na, like you mentioned about the kids. Like, as young as they are, kailangan you have to teach them who they let na, halimbawa, awak ng kamay. So, especially dangerous even if that's your tito, that's your tita, we have heard so many stories already about incest.
Perpetrator. Yeah, yung perpetrator na sa mismong family.
Yeah, so you really have to be careful doon sa mga taong pinapapasok nyo or yung pinapahawakan nyo sa bata. Kasi even yung kid, story that na narinig, shinare sa akin ng isang advocate. And then, unity to yung bata, inaano siya ng tatay niya, na-rape siya ng tatay niya. Until naging like, it became normal na kahit nakahubad siya, wala na lang yun sa kanya. Because yung naging mindset, okay lang yan kasi normal nga yung ginagawa eh. Even sa ibang like, kahit hindi father niya yung nandun, kahit ibang okay, doon sa katawan. Yun yung nakagisnan niya. So we have to really, you know, what consent is, how to act, alam mo yun, kapag ng mga strangers or kahit ng mga other relatives na, you know, we're close. Kasi a lot of stories na nangyari kahit sa ganito, dahil kasi ati naman yan. Kasi pinsan mo naman yan. Pero we'll never know, diba, kung ano yun. So, mas okay na as young as them, kailan turuan na natin sila na that's your body, you're supposed to decide kung sino lang pa yung, kung uncomfortable kasi dito mo na hinak. Kasi di ba may mga bata na, mapapansin mo may mga bata na uncomfortable na pero pinapayagan mo pa rin kasi anak mo. So, if you feel like your kid is really uncomfortable to a person already, you have to, like, you know, just let it be. Don't let them touch him already and like, kasi hindi porket mas matanda ka, hindi mo na-respetuhin yung bata.
Yeah.
Abuse starts na ganun eh, kasi power tripping, diba? So, importante na you actually set boundaries to people around you. Sobrang lawak talaga nung itong rape culture na ito, diba?
Oo nga eh.
Ang dami natin.
So, faceted talaga siya. Pati LGBT community, rape culture, victim blaming, feminism, toxic masculinity.
And I think kahit paano nakapagbukas tayo ng other reasons why people actually does this and how can we truly protect ourselves by educating young kids how to respect women and how to respect other people regardless of their gender. Diba? Yun naman yung importante. Whether babae yan or ano pa yung sexuality niya, yung soji niya, you have to respect that. And you have to start it. Kasi pagka matanda na, yun nga, ang hirap ng matanda. Kasi mas diba, it's famous like, ang hirap magpalaki ng nanay. So what more ng isang adult na kailangan mong turuan ng ganitong bagay. Diba? Yeah. Anything to add, for our topic?
Ayun, I guess that's basically it. Para sa mga, if ever, merong nanonood na hindi, parang na-trigger sila sa mga pinag-usapan natin, which is completely understandable. Parang, don't be afraid to reach out. Baka pwede niyong message si Nick. Pwede niya akong message. Char. Pero yeah, parang it helps to talk about it when you're ready. So, ayun, you're not alone. As in, you're not alone. Parang lahat ng kilala kong babae naka-experience na ng ganito. And also men, I have a lot of male friends who have experienced being harassed, being molested. So, it's something that parang sobrang ingrained na siya sa society, but at the same time, it's something that can be changed. It can be solved. So, I think yung pinaka-importante talaga that I always keep in mind when it comes to sexual violence. Actually, ito yung reason kung bakit ako nag-masters ng psychology. Kasi I want to study how to rehabilitate mga sex offenders. So, yun yung talaga yung main goal ko with my studies right now. Kasi I believe na parang everyone has hope to change. So, kahit yung mga rapists, kahit yung mga harassers, any type of sex offenders, I believe na meron pang chance to change them. Kasi if we close the possibility of that, edi lalong hindi masolve yung problem. So, yun, parang, just always have hope.
Okay. Yeah. And sabi nga natin, diba, regardless of, like, gender, we have to teach everyone respect, consent, and everything is really important. Tapos, yun nga, we have to involve everyone. Rehabilitation is very important. Wag tayo, like, you know, if we judge people right away of what the actions that they do, it's also important. How do we change them? How do we maging part sila ng solution? Kasi just throw the problems out there. Kasi when you throw them, mas lumalaki lang kasi pinapabayaan mo. So that's really a good point na sinabi mo na importante na isasama natin yung offenders. This is not just fight ng mga victims, ng mga bystanders, but also the offenders was done. They have to understand bakit malito, bakit kailangan nila i-renew to, at hindi dahil sa may kapatid, may nanay ka o may kapatid ka. Yeah. Not because of that. It's because we're all, tayo tao, we all deserve respect. Like, na deserve na, diba? Regardless of gender. At, we hope mga viewers na nanonood tayo. Sana marami kayo. Whether kayo ay LGBT plus, para sa mga transgender na na kakaranas ng mga hope, that people are doing their part to make sure we have a safe space to us. And we have legislators who's actually helping us to make this kind of community be a reality. It's gonna be a long road, it's gonna be a long journey, but it's all gonna be worth it. We have to keep fighting, we have to keep talking about this, we have to keep making this a big deal because it is. It is. So yeah. And may one last message sa viewers before we end this.
Last message?
Yeah.
Ayun, okay pa ba kayo? Parang sobrang dami nangyayari sa mundo. I hope everyone's okay. Don't be afraid to take a break, take a breather, parang disconnect muna for a while. It's okay. That's completely okay. Take care of you first. And then just keep on fighting after. So yun, parang i-manage natin yung energy natin. Kasi it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So as long as we keep on doing this, we keep on fighting the good fight, mas hopeful talaga ako. I'm optimistic.
Yes. And again, thank you, Chris, for joining us. It's been
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Thank you for watching, Mga Mars. Sana marami tayong natutunan at na-break na misconceptions about sexual harassment. At sana ito yung maging simulat na hindi natin kailangang pagdebatehan yung patungkol sa women's clothing and women's choice of clothing. And, ayan, bago pala tayo magtapos, I wanna share with you a really nice initiative. You can, see it in your screen right now. And, this is an initiative about, na para sa mga students, para magkaroon sila ng mga gadgets for this upcoming online classes na gagawin ng DepEd. So, sana i-support nyo. You just have to visit their Facebook page, EduConnect. And ilalagay din namin yan dyan sa baba, yung link kung saan nyo pwede siyang makita. Again, thank you so much, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button below. Thank you so much, and see you on my next live. Bye!